Welcome to Bird Seeds. As always, thank you so much for being here. This is Joe Bird. I'm going to start off apologizing that I missed a week. I haven't been as consistent with this as I'd like to this year. I've been super busy. In my world, busy is good. That's a really good thing. But I apologize for that. So we were at the beach. We were down in Hatteras, working on our beach house, getting it ready for the rental season. We did a lot of renovations to it, really bring it up to snuff. And we were down there working and doing that. And I like doing construction projects. I get a lot out of it. I get a lot of I don't know if it's just because I'm checking a box or the pride from accomplishing something or learning something or not knowing how to do it when I start and whatever. I get a lot out of it. But there was something also by going down and doing that, and that's why I was there. That really was awesome because I couldn't just say no, I'll do it later. I couldn't procrastinate. I couldn't talk myself out of doing something that had to be done. It was basically, I'm here to do it. Let's do it. So that part was really great. Also, closest Home Depot is an hour and a half away each way. So you really have to think ahead and plan ahead and bring the stuff you need down with you. Because if you forget something, it could be catastrophic. Now, there is an Ace 20 minutes away and a True Value 15 minutes away. So they carry a lot of stuff, but they don't carry everything. I did have to make the one trip up to Home Depot, lost 3.5 hours, but that's okay. All in all, it was really, really, really great experience. We came back last Tuesday and then last Wednesday. The reason I didn't get a podcast episode out, super busy. And then I took my daughter to the Caps playoff game. That was awesome. It was a great experience to take her to a playoff game. It's just such a different experience. NHL playoffs are wild, super loud, super awesome. So I had a really good time with her doing that. And then just been super busy catching up. So here I am. I always try to record these a day or two ahead of time. Here I am, right, kind of coming up on the deadline of when I post them. I try to post them Wednesdays at 7. So here I am getting this done and, at the last second, but that's okay. It's all good. I read a really interesting meme or whatever you want to call it on Instagram, and it said something along the lines of, and I'm going to forget the exact stat, and that's fine. We talk in generalities. We don't have to be specific here, but it's like 78%, 70% and change of the things that people wrote down that they worry about don't come true. So I talk about anxiety, I talk about worrying, I talk about all that stuff. I've done a really good job in the last couple months of being able to quash the worry. I did an episode a while ago that worry guarantees misery, and fully believe that. So obviously, anxiety, worry, that's a really, really good human um, emotion, feeling, whatever you want to call it, because it tells you to be careful. It tells you what to look out for. So you don't want to have no worry or anxiety. That would be unhealthy, and you probably get yourself in lots of problems. But too much limits you from doing anything, and you just kind of freeze and you don't do anything. So when that episode I did about the worry guaranteeing misery, you're worried about something, you're anxious about something, it could go wrong. You catastrophize it and make it the worst possible outcome. You're going to experience at least part of what that is. Emotionally, you're going to experience the worst possible outcome because that's what you're focused on. But if it doesn't happen, you still experienced it emotionally. Maybe not the actual repercussions, the financial or the health or whatever it is, but the emotional repercussions you experience no matter what when you worry about something too much. Versus if you can acknowledge it, okay, and put it over here. Let's game plan around it so that doesn't happen. I'm not going to ignore it, but I'm not going to let it overtake me. I'm not going to catastrophize it. I'm not going to whatever. And it doesn't happen. I didn't emotionally experience it. So I've been working on that, something I've really tried hard at. Feel like I've done a pretty good job recently about that. There's, a couple, again, I can't even think of any direct examples right now, but a couple different experiences where normally that unknown would just really eat away at me. And I've done a good job of just saying, okay, I'm a little worried about it. There's no benefit to harp on it. It does no good for anybody, including myself. So I haven't. I've done a pretty good job at that. And I'm just going to pat myself on the back, celebrate the wins. I think that's super important. But yeah, going back to that meme, just think about that number. And that's, I know me, I think I know other people. We really don't what we think we do. But let's say 78% of the things you worry about don't actually happen. And then on top of that was only 3% of the things that you worry about happen as bad as you thought they might happen. 3%. So when something comes up, you got a test, you got um, a court legal thing, you got whatever it is, the odds are that 3% of the time, it's the worst case scenario that you worry about. Just three. That means it's statistically highly unlikely to go to that worst case scenario. So why, again, acknowledge it, but don't experience the emotions of the worst case scenario when it's very unlikely to be the worst case scenario. It doesn't mean it's not going to be, it's going to turn good. Doesn't mean it's going to completely go away, but it's not probably going to be as bad as you think it's going to be. Those are my walk. That's my walking wisdom for today. It's a short episode. Just need to get back in the saddle, get this thing moving. It's Bird Seeds, Joe Bird. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you soon, hopefully next week. Take care.